next, why more than 100 people on 5 housing estates in South London have been told by Lambeth Council they must look for somewhere else to live. The private tenants who moved onto the estates that were already earmarked for regeneration accuse the council of failing to be transparent. But Lambeth say it would provide housing for homeless families. Aisha Baksh picks up the story.
For many in London, finding an affordable home to rent is increasingly difficult. When Mylene was shown this property on the Central Hill estate in Norwood, she hoped her family could finally put down some roots.
There's a lot of space, it's really bright, there's a lot of storage, it's so quiet.
I like it because I have all my toys here. And
6-and-a-half-year-old Samuel was enrolled at the local school, and the family told the letting agent they wanted to make this a long-term home.
The tenancy agreement was for 2 years, but when we viewed the property and they asked us how long we wanted to rent the place for. I think we said 3 years? Yeah. 3 years plus.
But what the family didn't know was their landlord was in fact Lambeth Council, who only wanted them there on a short-term basis, as the estate had been earmarked for regeneration and potential demolition. Regeneration plans were first announced back in 2014. A few years later, social tenants were moved off and leasehold properties bought back. Then private tenants were moved in for a few years, paying the market rate, until this year, when the tenancies for private renters were terminated.
I felt abused and fooled. I felt that they haven't been transparent.
And it's not just residents living here who are dealing with this. Across 5 estates in the borough, private tenants are also being impacted in Clapham, in Oval and in Brockwell Park. Lambeth Council confirmed 144 households have been contacted by letting agencies on their behalf. In a statement, they said there are 43,000 people on the borough's housing waiting list, and these properties will provide vital housing for homeless families. The private tenancies were always a short-term measure.
This is where I used to live up until last March with my family.
Pete Elliott is a former local councillor for the Green Party who had been renting on the estate for 7 years. He's now sofa surfing.
Knee-jerk decisions, I would say, to try and move out private renters when there is, from what we can see, there is no reason to move them off. They're paying a lot of money in rent. There are empty homes on the estate to move the people in that they're saying that they want to move in.
And the future for all residents on this and other estates is still uncertain. The council is still deciding whether to fully refurbish them, retrofit or demolish and rebuild.
I would want to take away the threat of demolition from it, so that people can get focused on making this estate good again and actually taking pride in it and making sure that there are a lot of people on this estate that are in temporary accommodation. And I want them to have permanent tenancies so they can feel secure and in the knowledge that they've got a home.
Aisha Baksh, BBC London.